This chart represents the most popular piece of budgeting advice on the internet right now: 50% for needs, 30 for wants, and 20 to invest. It looks clean, simple, and entirely logical. But there is a major flaw with this math. It was engineered for a high-income economy that looks very different from your own. If you earn 30,000 rupees a month in Mumbai and your rent alone is 12,000, that is already 40% of your income gone. This is gone before food, before transport, before anything. Applied exactly as written, the 50-30-20 rule fails to account for the reality of Indian salaries. However, a localized version built on actual survival costs offers a much more effective path forward. The original rule comes from a 2005 book called All Your Worth, written by Elizabeth Warren while she was a Harvard bankruptcy professor. Her research relied on specific American conditions: a median household income over $50,000, with housing costs taking up roughly a quarter of that, and healthcare covered by employers. These assumptions do not apply to a 22-year-old fresher navigating Bangalore and earning 35,000 rupees a month. The framework fails in India because it was copy-pasted across the internet without anyone localizing the math for the local cost of living. Today, we are going to fix exactly that. Let's run a strict financial audit on a standard 40,000 rupee take-home salary to see exactly where the original logic breaks down. This bar chart represents that 40,000 rupee salary. Watch what happens as we stack up the baseline costs of metropolitan survival: 12 to 15,000 for rent, 7,000 for food, 3,000 for transport, and another 1,000 for the internet. That total hits 26,000 rupees. Basic survival instantly consumes 65% of your income, shattering the 50% needs limit immediately. When earners hit this overflow, they rarely cut their wants, they cut their investments, because ordering dinner is immediate, while investing feels like something that can be delayed. The framework itself creates the barrier to entry, as survival costs override the math before personal discipline even becomes a factor. A localized adaptation solves this by using a sliding scale framework dictated by your specific income tier. For salaries between 20,000 and 40,000 rupees, you accept a 60-20-20 split: 60% for survival, 20% to live, and 20% to invest, which locks in first as a non-negotiable rule. Between 40,000 and 80,000 rupees, you shift to a 50-25-25 split. At this level of stability, every future salary raise must be routed directly into that investment bucket. Above 80,000 rupees, the formula flips to 40-35-25. Since survival costs don't double when your salary doubles, your investment bucket expands to become your primary growth area. The value of this rule is found in its principles: capping your needs and prioritizing investments at every income level. Successful first-generation wealth builders in India often choose to follow even more aggressive ratios, like 30-40-30, or sometimes 20-50-30. They keep their needs bucket small through deliberate choices, rejecting lifestyle upgrades like high-rent apartments or expensive vehicle loans the moment their salary allows it. They channel every salary increase directly into growth, while keeping their discretionary spending at a controlled, flat percentage. The original 50-30-20 rule is often flawed because it encourages your lifestyle to expand at the same rate as your income. True wealth generation requires protecting and expanding the gap between rising income and fixed survival costs. You can apply this framework starting this month. Step 1. Define your true survival baseline. Average your actual fixed expenses from the last 3 months to find your hard baseline. Step 2. Identify your salary tier and adopt the corresponding target split. Focus on consistent progress over hitting perfect percentages. Step 3. Automate your investment percentage. Ensure that money leaves your account for a SIP or investment the instant your salary arrives. Step 4. Conduct a biannual review. Every time your income increases, ensure the new money is being routed to investments rather than lifestyle upgrades. Consistently auditing every raise ensures that a modest salary translates into wealth over time. The 50-30-20 rule assumes an American economic structure that rarely translates to the cost of living in an Indian city. The core principles are what matter: spend less than you earn, invest first, and protect the gap between your income and your fixed life costs. Consistently executing this localized framework for a decade allows the math to do remarkable work on your behalf. If this provided a useful framework, share it with someone who is still struggling with the American model. Subscribe for tomorrow's video.